What's up, long players? Welcome back to the Long Play Listening Party, the show where we go deep on local music, writing, recording, inspiration, gear, garage band, and whatever else sounds good to us. I'm Howie Howard from Mr. Furious Records, joined as always by Nate Holt. What's going on, Nate?
Garage band forever.
Garage band forever. And returning guest, Kat King. Welcome back, Kat.
Thank you. Garage band forever.
If you haven't listened to last week's
solidarity there. That's solidarity.
If you haven't listened to last week's episode with Kat, we listened to her Falling Up EP, talked about GarageBand a lot, and listened to some great music. This week, we are covering the Say What You Mean EP, as well as her singles New Sun and brand new single. I guess at this point, by the time you hear this, it's been out a couple weeks, but new single, With Nothing in My Way. And since we talked about Say What You Mean so much last week, Nate, do you want to just kind of bring us in on some music right away?
Sure thing.
Awesome.
Space. You don't want to take up space.
Yeah, this song is seriously super catchy. Did you write this with the band, or did you have kind of the, general idea of the song and then you just kind of brought it to everybody?
I wrote this, brought it to the band, we arranged it, then we gave it to our producer, Joel Martin, and he produced the shit out of it and made it the most earwormy, poppy, bop ever. We were all brain blasted when we heard the first mix. It's the same song, but just instrumentally, he made so many choices that made it what it is. So I have to give him a lot of credit for his final result.
Yeah. And now that you mentioned Joel, I kind of hear Joel worked on the Scores record. Is that right, Nate?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure we talked about Joel producing half of that Scores record.
Okay. I think, oh man, my memory is not great, but
it's all right. I'll look it up and put it in the notes.
I know
but I'm 90% sure.
They had someone that was pretty instrumental in their record, so.
It's hard to even say what specifically he did, because structurally it's all the same.
So yeah, I was gonna ask. So, you were a 4-piece. You're a 5-piece now, right?
Yes.
You brought in a keyboard or synth player.
Mm-hmm.
Was it a challenge to play the songs that were I guess produced live, or did you had to make?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's why we brought in. We were we can't do it all.
Yeah.
A live performance. At this point, I was trying to play a double stack keyboard situation and sing, and it was literally keeping me up at night, just air practicing how to do all the parts, and I was I just can't do it.
Yeah.
Have to get someone else on board. And I also really wanted somebody to do harmonies with me. My guitarist, Derek, he does some harmonies, but is mostly a guitar player.
Yeah.
And just having another a voice in the same kind of range as me, I was really missing that. So we brought on Kara, who plays keys and sings. She was used to be in a trio band that was super harmony heavy.
Yeah.
So she's been a lovely addition, and it's still a challenge to get these songs live to sound like the EP, but I think we've created just kind of live versions of them that are similar but also kind of our own. It's interesting.
Well, yeah. I think I guess it depends on the band and everything else, but you know, sometimes you don't want to see the band play, you know, note for note what the song is on the record. Sometimes you want to see them, stretch out a little bit and get kind of like loose with the stuff.
Yeah, totally.
Which is cool. So I guess it kind of depends on like where you are, like in terms of like how you want people to hear your production.
Yeah. We talk about it here and there of like, do we want to get backing tracks? Do we want to have in-ear monitors? That is, first off, a huge expense. Just not realistic right now. But also, it does take away your ability to kind of like switch things up, and it's like really fun to switch parts up and have that kind of freedom on stage. I think we all have a really nice energy together in that way, and having backing tracks would kind of take away from that part of performing. So I don't know.
No, I mean you're right. Like, and it would just take a lot of rehearsing with the backing tracks and figuring out. I don't know. I think you could probably do it on your own, but you might have to have like somebody off stage like that is able to kind of like go with the flow. Like, okay, they're extending this, bridge, so
Right.
I'm gonna loop that part and
Yeah, that sounds like way over my head. So maybe something.
People do cool stuff with it, but I feel the way you feel. I've never worked with in-ears or backing tracks or anything, and I've not been that interested in it for that reason. I like when things kind of breathe and move, and maybe a solo goes long or a jam goes long or the outro gets noisy or like just different stuff can happen, and I don't know, maybe I'd love it. Like I said, I've never actually really gotten serious about it, but
well, I will say in terms of in-ear monitors, so Maria the Mexican, they invested in like the X32 system, and it did take a while, a few shows to really get comfortable with how it works. But now, much set up, like every show is the same. You can walk in, and I don't use the in-ear monitors. I use like a monitor, and I use like earplugs. But they send me my mix. I can control it how I want to, but I don't even need to because all the levels are pretty much set. They don't go anywhere, and it works pretty well once you spend a lot of time getting it right. But it's very expensive.
Yeah.
Very expensive.
I wish it weren't that way.
Yeah. But the fact that like, some people can afford it now, when it used to be just for like the super, king of the world rock stars type of stuff.
Actually, I've only used in-ear monitors playing with Katie Gann in the Drive.
That's right.
It's been really cool. I think it makes you so much tighter. And they don't play to backing track. Well, no, they do. I take it back. They do now, a little bit. And
because is it just because of their new record?
Yeah, because they're normally just a two-piece, so.
Right. Yeah.
You need those.
Well, yeah, that's true too.
They're totally like pros and cons. I don't know that there's a right answer in there. But for now, our answer is we're not rich enough to buy all the equipment we need for that.
So I really want to listen to your music. Like, I think like your voice on this song is just absolutely like gorgeous.
Thank you.
But like, you were talking about being self-taught, and like now you're kind of like, hanging out and playing with Katie Guillen and Steph, and like, you know, you're playing like guitar and keys and singing. Like, that's, I don't know, that's got to be super cool.
That's great. I mean, they're awesome. They rock as.
And Claire Adams plays with you guys too. With the 4-piece, right? Yeah.
You gotta play with her once. Between her and Michelle Bacon, they're all great musicians, great people.
Yeah.
I feel very honored to get to do that.
Remind me again, what was the issue? You only miss me when you're lonely. I only miss you 'cause I'm sad. No, I'm sad because I miss you. Remind me again, what was the issue? Once made friends with a blue bottle, an hour to know no bother, doesn't matter. We win and I know it. Maybe we knew the end. Find myself in the sheets. It gets harder to leave. It's not a pit stop.
Did we talk about how you recorded this record?
I don't think we did.
So we recorded all of the instruments, most of the instruments, with Joel Martin and Mitch. I actually don't know how to say his name. Hewitt. I'm like totally blanking out how to say his last name. Yes. Back at when they had like the Coop Sessions original space. So in Lawrence, we recorded with them in Lawrence, and then we did vocals just like in my room, in this room actually, and some extra guitar parts and stuff in here. And then Joel just produced it. He lives in Philly now, so he was producing and still is. It's like that's kind of how we are doing it now too. Is I guess I can get there in our new singles, but kind of record DIY with our own gear, and then we just send him everything and say, make this sound good.
That can be a really efficient way to work. I really like that kind of hybrid approach.
Yeah, very grateful that
it's probably
the group
nice
that I play
to
with.
get the stuff out of your hands. I mean, you probably, I'm just speculating, you rehearse it, you know, over and over, you get the arrangement down, get it recorded, and then it's probably nice just to be like, okay, let's just not worry about that song. Like, Joel's gonna take care of us. Like,
it's in
let's
Joel's
do something
hands
else.
now. Yeah. It's really fun to see, like, all right, what's it gonna sound like when he sends it our first mix?
Have you listened to a band called Mew? M-E-W?
I don't think so.
You should check them out. That part of that song definitely reminded of them.
Nice. I'll put it
I should know more about them than I do. I'm just blanking, but
That's okay. Put it in my phone to go back to later.
Frengers, Frengers, is the record that I first heard. But yeah, they're Danish, and I mean, I think they're pretty huge over there. But I'd be curious if you like their music, because I definitely in that last part of that song heard some stuff that sounded like theirs.
Nice. I love hearing feedback of like who we remind people of.
Yeah.
They're a little, and I haven't listened to a lot of them, Nate, but like, you know, if Kat's sneaking some extra musicality and like interesting, weird stuff into a pop package, I think they're kind of sneaking pop into a prog package, right?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah. I mean, that's a really, really good description of it.
Fascinated.
And their singer, I mean, you know, like it's sometimes you're like mistaken for a woman because like he's got such a high range and register. I'm not
very intrigued.
This song's super dope. I'm gonna shut up, but like, check him out.
This one, we haven't talked about it, but this one, I've heard it and thought about it as we've been listening. But this one shows a little bit of like a soul R&B type of influence almost.
Yeah. It's funny you say, we were just talking about this in practice the other day. We've kind of retired this one live. When I wrote it, it was totally way more like R&B-ish. And this is one live, we just cannot get it to a spot that feels good. Like, I think this recording slaps, but in a way that we can't replicate. Like, it's weird. We don't know what to do with it. It's been like the most challenging song of all.
Interesting.
I mean, why do you think that is? Like, what?
I don't know. I think because these synths he has in there are just so heavy, and I don't think we have the right.
Is it pretty layered and?
So layered, yeah. So it sounds so full and awesome on this recording, but live when we try to replicate this, it doesn't work. I think we kind of would have to take it back to its original form, which was a little more like soul, R&B, less like rock, pop rock.
Do you have that version recorded anywhere?
No, but that might be a fun thing to do.
So get GarageBand down.
Yeah.
Whip it out, Old Faithful.
Yeah. Find a loop. We're in business.
Yeah.
I want you alone.
But it's got that neck snap.
Yeah. I love that recording. I think it's so fun.
It's a really cool song.
Thank you.
So I don't have stuff memorized. Someone has to tell me when we get to new song.
I'll let you know. There's this. Wait, this might be the last song on the CP. New Sun is probably next.
Okay.
But this song, the opposite of Korean karaoke, where we think our live version is better than the recording. No offense to Joel, I think he took it in his way.
Recordings are like that though. It's like sometimes you just maybe you just kind of get the song more after you've recorded it, and it just takes on a little bit of a different life, which is, I mean, that's why I love playing music too. It's like,
I know, that's like been a really fun and weird thing to discover, playing with a full band and doing recordings with them and having someone else like produce them and their own, like how they hear it. It's like, wow, you can just like really do, the options are endless. And you can just keep working a song and changing it, which is really fun. And stressful.
Yeah, it is. Kat, I don't have a specific question, but we haven't really talked about lyrics at all. What's your lyric process like?
It really depends with me. I think sometimes like, I would say the most like common way that I write a song is I find a chord progression that I like, and then like a phrase just starts like coming like consistently. I'll like kind of sing gibberish until consistent phrase is happening, and I'll be like, I really like that, and then I take that and I'm like, I put meaning to it, or I'm like, oh, this thing has been heavy in my like conscious lately. Like I'll make it about that. Make this phrase fit that somehow, and then it just kind of blossoms from there. Typically,
Don't have my vision skewed
I definitely.
through my blues.
I mean, I feel like this is like so obvious to say, but I almost always have like a very specific meaning behind a song, or very like lyrically. They're all pretty personal for me. And writing something that isn't is like a huge challenge. It's so easy to write when you are like experiencing heartbreak, at least in my opinion, and almost all of this EP is in that realm.
Okay.
So yeah, typically when I am like not doing so hot mentally, I write my best songs.
That's one of Interesting, yeah.
I feel like that's pretty
I'm the
classic.
opposite. I can't do it in the
Right.
moment. It will come out like a
Really?
year or two later, after I've kind of thought about
Processed it?
and gotten to a better place. Then I can
Right.
write about it.
Huh.
It's interesting. I don't know. Fun to hear how everyone's process.
Yeah,
is
everyone's
different
just.
in that
I've just
way.
offered that for contract. Like everyone's
Yeah.
different.
Well, what you mentioned, like kind of singing gibberish and maybe a melody or something, but didn't there's that Beatles documentary? I think that they did that a few times. Like they were just kind of singing nonsense
Yeah.
before they had the actual lyrics, which is, I mean, it's probably a lot of people.
Yeah,
do
it's
that.
super common. I do that too, and in fact,
Yeah.
I get so attached to the vowel sounds and some of the vowel sounds and consonants of the gibberish, I'll end up like writing the song to maintain those because I like them so much.
I know. There are totally some phrases I've just kept in a song, but I'm like, this doesn't really make any sense in the context, but I just love the way it sounds.
Sounds good. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
And now we're
here are
to
the last. Yeah, these are the last two.
Cool. So this is new
Yeah.
song.
Yeah.
And this was our first song released with all 5 of us. So all 5 members of the band are in this one, which is really fun. It was really fun to release.
What came first in this song?
This one also started with, this was the weirdest way I've written a song for me. It was just my bassist John and then drummer Daniel
Yeah.
came up with this groove. The drums have changed a bit, but they came up with the general like foundation of the song, and then we kind of just jammed on it in a practice once. And I like took a voice recording of it, and then came back to that voice recording later, and I was like, I really like this, and started writing lyrics over it.
Yeah, it's catchy as hell. It's catchy as all get out.
Hell yeah. I think this is one of John's coolest bass lines that he did. As we get to the part where it like totally mellows out. I love this one because I think it really highlights everyone's instrument.
Yeah, I was about to say I really like the synth, what the synths are doing.
I'd love to hear Jessie Ware cover this. That'd be amazing.
Oh my god.
It'd be very
That
different.
would
Like
be
I like both
amazing.
versions equally. The one I imagined, but like this would be a cool Jessie
Yeah.
Ware song.
I love her so much.
Were you at the show? She came to Kansas City like 5 years ago, maybe.
That would have been before I even was aware of her.
Okay.
Dang.
Incredible live. If she ever comes back, do anything
Oh,
you need to see her. 'Cause she's amazing
Yeah.
live.
Bucket list. about to get to a sick drum solo by Daniel.
My mind's eyes, see it through my mind's eyes. Hold on to the light, hold on to the light, hold on to the light, hold on to the light.
Fantastic. I love that you put that in there. There's not enough like drum breaks. The drummers don't get
I
enough
know.
love.
Give the
anymore.
drummer something. Come on, man.
I was afraid that Joel would not be a fan and would like try to take it out of the song. He kept it in there,
No.
and I think it slaps.
Yeah, that's awesome.
No, those parts. I mean, some of those parts that just. I mean, if they take the extra beat or two, and
Yeah.
throw something in there, and like just for a minute, make sure you're paying attention, and back into the jam.
Yeah. Totally.
I love it.
Thanks.
All right. And now the big moment has arrived. Cat King's latest single, Nothing in My Way.
This one is Melodies on Melodies.
I definitely want to listen to some. I have a question.
No pants, water to my right. In time I'll find what gets me there. Pardon me, I'm barefoot in the city street. New lips, dirty hotel sink. Will I manage to wash my hair? I don't give a damn, but I'll give two shits. It's time I burden myself with something bigger than this. Yeah, I don't give a damn, but I'll curse for kicks. It's time I burden myself, or I'll be remiss.
The synth is sick.
With nothing in my way, I'll take onto the streets tonight. Eyes well.
A friend of ours described this as experimental, which was fun to hear. Like, huh? Haven't thought about it in that way.
Been playing this game for free.
Yeah, I wouldn't have either. I mean, I guess the intro, or kind of the first verse, or however you think about that, and the rest of it, kind of a contrast. You know, kind of mashing
Yeah.
a couple things together, but the transition's so smooth into it.
Yeah.
It hadn't really occurred to me that they were so different.
Yeah, I'm still letting that one soak in. I'm not sure.
But I'll curse for kicks. It's time I burden myself, or I'll be remiss.
More good bass lines in this one too.
God, I'm sorry. I'm just like a geek about that synth pop shit. Like,
Hell yeah.
yeah, that's
I'm learning a new way to love.
Is this Cat? Is this a single? Did you do like record this as a one-off, or are you working towards something?
The original thought is that this is a one-off, but we are gonna start working on an EP. We're not opposed to putting this or New Sun, if it feels right, to put it in to something bigger. We'll
Gotcha.
see.
Don't matter what it feels like.
So do you feel like this is maybe sort of a direction you might be like going towards, or did this just kind of come together like this?
The song has felt so unique from the beginning. Like I've written a lot of songs since, and nothing has been quite what this is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really experimented with a lot. Like I demoed a lot of this song, and created like that synth line, and just like kept stacking more melodies on top of each other. Just like had so much room for, I don't know, I couldn't stop. And there's not been a song that's like had that same effect when I've demoed. So I don't know. It could just be a one-off. We'll see.
Yeah, it's pretty. The way you put it all together is pretty like dense. It's almost like orchestrated, where the bass on the bottom is doing a line, the vocal melody, the synth on top doing lines and counterpoint, and it's not. There's a lot going on, but it's not like the lush chords or the big reverb and echo. It's a lot of lines interwoven.
Yeah. I hope that it works.
Oh, totally.
I
It
like
sounds
it.
great.
Totally. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I was kind of wondering, if like that was something that you were looking to do, not like intentionally, but like just as a sort of kind of going that way. But it sounds like it was just kind of like it is what it is, and then whatever happens with the other stuff is
I think it really depends on how much time I spend demoing a song, because I can just stack vocal melodies. Like I could just keep going and going if I let myself. And sometimes it really works out and those parts stick, and other times it could like be a little too much. And I let myself experiment with the song for 2 years. So, and this is what it is. And yeah.
right on.
Sometimes it's funny how those experiences and those experiments will come back unexpectedly, like years down the line. Something adjacent to or related to, or that like kind of grows from this, might just seem to pop out of nowhere. And I think we never know, kind of as artists, when that stuff comes back.
It's fun.
Oh, cool. Well, thanks for going on this journey with us. I mean, is there anything you wanted to talk about that you didn't touch on, or?
Those two, I mean, those EPs were really fun to listen to. I know you hadn't listened to the Falling Down EP, but I think I did buy that. Around the time it came out.
So close, Falling Up.
Falling Up. Sorry.
It's okay, you're close enough.
Falling Down's a good movie if you haven't seen it.
I haven't, but put it in the notes.
Okay. No, Falling Up. And then is it Don't Wanna Lose?
Say What You Mean is the following EP.
Well, but what's it? Don't Wanna Lose is.
Don't Wanna Lose was the first single from that one.
The first single that was out, and so that very, very cool.
Thank you. This has been so fun.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming on and kind of giving us the lowdown behind it and all that.
This has been lovely. Open invitation. We hope to see you again. Maybe with a new EP or with another artist you want to highlight and lift up. So you're now a friend of the show, and we'll be doing the scene together.
Awesome. Yes, thank you so much for having me. We're taking a dive on my songs.
We appreciate it, Kat. Take care. This has been the Long Play.
We'll be looking for more.
Yeah, it's on its way.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Awesome. Later, everybody.